Welcome to this channel, guys, and thank you very much for over 3,600 subscribers. Yesterday I could not do a video. I wasn't feeling well. Even now I'm not still feeling well, but I'm hoping that yes, I will be fine as time goes. I had moved to where I used to stay, so I came somewhere else, and of course there've just been change of environment, but I'm hoping that I'll be fine. Now, yesterday, we saw some mixed signals at the UDA ANC alliance. Musalia Mudavadi spoke and said that they were yet to settle on the presidential candidate at the Kenya Kwanza alliance. But then moments later, the chairman of UDA, Johnston Muthama, came out and said that there was no agreement between UDA ANC at Fort Kenya, but all the parties were working together just as friends. I think this sent mixed reactions because after that, I get intel that ANC Amani National Congress team reached out to William Ruto directly and was asking William Ruto what was the statement that was sent by Johnston Muthama. Because according to Johnston Muthama, there was no agreement between the parties. So Johnston Muthama later, we saw that the UDA party sent a press briefing to the newsroom in the evening, trying to clarify that, trying to retract his initial statement and saying that, of course, they're working on a coalition with ANC and Ford Kenya, even though he mentioned that it is not yet finalized, and that is why he said that there was no tangible deal at ANC. Now, what is happening, guys, is these are just contradiction because supporters of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, up as to up till now, they still don't know what is in store for Musalia Mudavadi and the Ford Kenya party. Even though the presidential candidate, you have to agree that it is all William Ruto. I think something that came out, Musalia Mudavadi, in other words, was just trying to endorse William Ruto for the top seat for the presidency. And according to me, that was not needed because everyone knew that the candidate, the presidential candidate, is supposed to be William Samoei Ruto. Now, I saw that contradiction being giving a fodder to the Kautu boss Francis Atwoli, laughing off at Musalia Mudavadi for what he termed as the betrayal even less than 1 month since he joined UDA. Even though he also mentioned that Raila Odinga betrayed them in 2017 in the NASA coalition, he went ahead and betrayed the other core principles and formed an alliance with William Ruto. So according to Francis Atwoli, it was all a fodder to laugh at Musalia Mudavadi. Guys, I want us to look at critical analysis. What is bringing the contradiction at the UDA party? But just before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time and you've not yet subscribed, kindly check the notification, kindly subscribe, check the notification button and click that so that when I upload a video, YouTube will automatically notify you. More importantly, you can also engage with me at the comment section. Then tell us what you think is bringing the contradiction at the new formed Kenya Kwanza Alliance. What I have to mention here is this is a very critical stage, and if they mess with it, then I can tell you that the Kenya Kwanza Alliance is going to split into two. Even though they may campaign together, they may be together as leaders, but down there the supporters will now remain confused. Now, my one reason what is bringing this is Mudavadi is lacking a firm ground to negotiate. The reason why Mudavadi is lacking this ground is the latest defections from ANC. You know, after Mudavadi went to form that alliance, and I mentioned it is not bad. The issue was not him betraying Oka principles, but going to William Ruto and without a structured negotiation, even going back to tell the people there. Even after the NDC at Bomas of Kenya, I think the alliance was made in Nairobi. Mudavadi have not made an party initiative or an initial initiative to go back to Western people, to go back to Kakamega and even host his own rally without William Ruto and explain to them what exactly is happening. This makes me remember after the handshake that Raila had with Uhuru. Now, Nyanza voters were a little bit confused and they didn't know what is in store. After ODM leader Raila met with the MPs at Orange House, the next stop was Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, and Migori, and he went there to explain to them, according to him, what handshake meant. Now, Mudavadi did not give that to the ground, and of course, everyone else was making his own decision. The same way he even used the wrong narrative that his friends, that William Ruto are his friends. So what is even happening? Some of the defectors from ANC are also feeling that friends of Musalia Mudavadi are not their friends, and they decided to leave. Then he tried to use a narrative to say that these leaders were paid, and I think he got it wrong. This is one of the reasons why he lacked the ground, because it is going to incite leaders against the voters in the community. You're going to incite them against the people who voted against the people who voted for them. So what that means is they are going to be very angry with Musalia Mudavadi, and that is why they are not supporting him at the party level. He is actually losing that ground. He even came out and said they were paid. The best thing that Musalia Mudavadi would have done is to make sure that he brings these leaders together, let him take them, let him try to beg them back to come to ANC, and let them understand what is in store for them in the new Kenya Kwanza Alliance so that they can sell. Otherwise, if they cannot go with him, then I can tell you that he's taking to Kenya Kwanza a shell of ANC party. So lack of that ground, that is what is making it even difficult for the UDA team to say, what are we giving Mudavadi? Because Mudavadi cannot explain what he's actually bringing on board. So that is one reason that I believe is bringing that contradiction. The second one is the tough demand for the running mate slot. I have mentioned in this channel, if William Ruto is not going to appoint, is not going to give Musalia Mudavadi the running mate position, then that man is underutilizing Musalia Mudavadi. The Western voters, they will not even give William Ruto a very good chunk of the Western vote, and they will actually instead vote for Raila Odinga if in case Musalia Mudavadi is not the running mate. The reason why this is so critical is if you look at the NASA coalition, I think it was formed on principles. And if you see at the NASA coalition, Musalia Mudavadi was not a prime minister, was not maybe a running mate or so. But you see, Western Kenya have always had a soft spot for Raila Odinga. For them to vote in Musalia Mudavadi, they need a Luhya consciousness. The Luhya consciousness, for them to coalesce around Musalia Mudavadi in that UDA NC coalition, Musalia Mudavadi must be given the running mate position. And you have to understand why this confusion is here, because William Ruto's candidate running mate must exclusively come from Central Kenya. But I think as Musalia Mudavadi, I know, is one of the smartest political political strategists in the country. He's actually trying to woo William Ruto to forget about the Central Kenya running mate and pick him as a running mate. And he's also telling Central Kenya that, look here, you cannot pick Rigathi Gachagua as a running mate while Raila Odinga is going for senior politicians like Peter Kenneth and Martha Karua. So I think that is also one thing that is bringing confusion at that coalition. Now, the other issue that is bringing that contradiction is Wetangula's dimming fortunes in Western Kenya. You know, I have to mention here, Wetangula was just a victim of circumstance. I don't think that William Ruto really had a lengthy conversation with Wetangula on working at coalition. Just like people say that buy Mudavadi, get Wetangula for. He only has two counties, which is Bungoma and Trans Nzoia. Now, if you look at what happened over the weekend during the Natembea's homecoming party, you can categorically say that it is a panic on William Ruto's camp, because it seems Azimio la Umoja is taking over Trans Nzoia in the name of Natembea, who is now facing off with Chris Wamalwa. So because of that, they are also feeling like Wetangula is also less. Whatever is bringing on board is not something tangible. While if you look at predominantly, William Ruto's bid, where he was actually bringing Wetangula in the fold, was to make sure that first he gets Trans Nzoia and Bungoma County. Because I want to say that Wetangula was just a victim of circumstance. I think Mudavadi just called Wetangula in the morning and told Wetangula that my chief guest in the NDC is going to be William Ruto. Then when they were on the podium, and Wetangula was also shocked, just the same way Kalonzo's and the rest were shocked that Mudavadi was working with William Ruto. Then from that, he decided, I think for him, they made an alliance with ANC and UDA later on, after Mudavadi had taken his part. So they've also realizing that just the emergence of Natembeya in Trans Nzoia is making it a little bit difficult to trust that Wetangula can bring actually votes, because if you ask me, Azimio la Umoja have taken over Trans Nzoia. Bungoma is where they have a chance because they want to take the current Senate Speaker, the former governor of Bungoma, Kenneth Lusaka, to come and battle it out. But I think the emergence of DAPK, party that is being fronted by Eugene Wamalwa, is already dealing Wetangula a big blow in that new alliance, because he doesn't have something that he can bring on table. Lastly, there is an issue with disagreements on the nomination slots. I saw an analysis, I think this morning, by a gentleman saying that Boni Khalwale might be making his way back to ODM party. I may not be shocked, because one of the things that was actually in a latest power sharing deal that emerged was that Boni Khalwale and Malala were eyeing both senatorial and gubernatorial seat. And UDA party have insisted that they want Khalwale to vie for the governor's seat so that Malala can just go back and defend the Senate seat. It will be easy that way. But I think there is still disagreement, because Malala is insisting that he's more vibrant and he stands a chance to win that seat. But then, you know, in the Kakamega senatorial seat is where there is also another problem, because Savula is eyeing this seat and ODM is also going to front a candidate. Another place where there is also this nomination issue is Nairobi. Initial plan was for ANC to produce a governor, then UDA to produce a senator. I think what William Ruto's side were actually realizing is William Ruto does not have a strong base in Nairobi, and he cannot win that seat. That seat can easily go with a Raila Musalia candidate, but a candidate that is fronted by UDA doesn't have that. And because they've realized that ODM, or rather Azimio team, might get a Kikuyu for that seat, that's why they're trying to give Sakaja that seat. But what I also understand is Margaret Wanjiru, I think, is not ready to go for the Senate seat, because if you make me understand, Margaret Wanjiru, I think, believes that she can deliver more at the governor's seat. So guys, those are some of the few things that is bringing this contradiction. But one thing they need to put in mind is that whatever is happening now, this confusion is a fodder to the Azimio team. Because Azimio team will run with the narrative that the same way they said they were never interested in the seats, they are now fighting for the seats. Musalia Mudavadi had been initially hinted to be given the chief minister's post. And I want to say, analyze that issue here, that report here. That report was leaked by UDA to send a direct message to Musalia Mudavadi that the running mate position did not belong to him. That is why you saw the likes of now Atwoli running out with a narrative that there is a mega betrayal at the Kenya Kwanza Alliance because Musalia Mudavadi did not get what he wanted. So guys, that is it. Let's look at our next video on this issue of voter registration. It is a very big blow to the current politicians, especially the two front runners.